Hi, and welcome to The Art of Catching. My name's Brent Mayne, 15-year veteran of the big leagues. Come along with me, and I'll help you unlock the secrets that'll make you a better baseball catcher. So let's explore what it means to have good athletic positioning as you go about your business behind the dish. This is a big idea for you to understand as a player or a coach, because this is the basis for the art of catching style and the foundation from which we're going to build a technically sound catcher. Before we get into it, let me show you some photographs of some athletes demonstrating good athletic posture and foundation so that you can see what it looks like, and so hopefully I can drive home the point and sell you on the fact that having a good athletic posture and maintaining that is a mandatory requirement for you to realize your potential as a catcher.
When we take a moment to compare great athletes, it's easy to see that they all have one trait in common. They all operate from a stacked position of balance and power. Notice their heads and torsos and how it aligns with and stays centered in between their legs. When viewed from this perspective, seemingly unrelated sports start to look similar. Here, Nolan Ryan and surfer Taj Burrow demonstrate virtually the same physical position. All of a sudden, athletes start to blend together. Thurman Munson starts to look like Ben Hogan, who looks like Hank Aaron. And it doesn't even matter what era we're talking about, as we take a look at catchers from three different eras: Ernie Lombardi, Mike Scioscia, and Ivan Rodriguez, all demonstrating good athletic foundations.
So, as you can see, good athleticism is good athleticism, regardless of sport and regardless of position. The best athletes in the world get in and stay in a good position throughout the sequence of their movement more often than, say, a mediocre player. This is vitally important as a catcher because in this position things happen really quickly. It's hard enough to catch a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, much less be able to block one in the dirt or react to throw somebody out consistently. If we need to make sure that our movements behind the plate are as simple and as precise as we can possibly make them, we want to go from point A to point B to get something done. We want to start athletic and we want to finish athletic. If we're starting our stance is from a compromised, unathletic position, a position from which we're going to have to come out of to be able to be athletic and make a move, then we're taking an extra step in time that eventually is going to stunt our growth and leave us by the wayside as we try to advance levels in our playing career. The fact is, the only difference between high school baseball and college baseball and the pros is the speed of the game. The game at the highest levels is very, very quick. And regardless of our athleticism, if we're not doing things precisely, eventually we're going to find ourselves on the bench. So what is a good athletic foundation? Well, before we bridge that gap, I think it's important for us to come to an understanding about what controls the balance in our body. When I ask that question, what controls the balance in our body, predominantly people say my core or my trunk area. Believe it or not, the balance in your body is predominantly controlled by your inner ears. If you can follow that point, that means that wherever your head goes, your body's going to follow because your balance is in your head. As it relates to a catcher and our stances and our athletic posture, a good athletic posture for me would be what I call staying stacked. And that would be with your head centered in between your shoulders in between your hips, and your hips in between your legs. A good, solid, balanced athletic foundation right here. From a side view, it's going to look something like this right here. It's not going to be this way, and it's not going to be this way. As an athlete, if you can just imagine trying to deliver a punch right out in front of you with maximum power, how are you going to do it? Are you going to do it from this stance right here, which I think you're gonna, or are you going to do it from here? No. Or from here? No, not powerful. This is the most powerful position. The same applies for if you're trying to strike a ball with maximum power in front of you. It's going to be boom, from right here. It's not going to be with your head back this way and your base unstacked this way, or it's not going to be this way. Same applies for if you're trying to deliver a pitch, and the same applies to, let's say, our stances as catchers. If this is an athletic position, we want to stay in that athletic position right from the get-go. So a good stance might be just to squat down. Just to squat down, with our back fairly perpendicular to the ground. A big problem, say, in stances would be a situation where your back starts to get parallel to the ground or flat to the ground. Again, understanding that your balance is in your head. If you're in this position here with your head way out in front of your body, your first movement's always going to be to go forward, and that's going to severely limit your range as a catcher. And just like every other position on the field, we want to have good, solid range as a catcher, good lateral movement. Not to mention the ability to catch the high pitch. If we're starting from this position here and we have to go here to be able to reach here, again, that's an inefficient movement. That's adding an extra step into a sequence that doesn't need to be added, and eventually it's going to leave us by the wayside. That's going from point A to point B to point C to get something done. Unathletic position to get athletic, to be able to make an athletic move. So in future videos, we'll explore, and I'll give you some techniques that will help make you a better catcher. Hopefully though, you'll understand, more than anything I can share with you, your success or failure as an athlete is going to hinge upon your ability to understand and apply these simple concepts of a good athletic foundation. Thank you very much for tuning in to The Art of Catching. Hopefully you got something from this video that'll help elevate your game to the next level. If you like what you saw, please log on to my website at www.artofcatching.com or www.brentmayne.com for more information. Also, check out my book, The Art of Catching. I'll come back at you next week with some more instructional tips and video, but until then, this is Brent Mayne reminding you to have fun and keep your eye on the ball.